All right, I'm here with my buddy Boone. Boone is a pointer, and isn't he a handsome fella? And in this video, we're gonna go over how you can teach your puppy to fetch, or your adult dog. Now, a lot of us, we say fetch, 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 and the dog's not fetching. So his marker word is yes. So what I'm gonna do is, and I've been practicing with him off camera a little bit, but let me break down the individual steps. So what you wanna do at first is get the dog used to just grabbing whatever the object is. Now, I did this with him with arousal by getting him worked up by moving around. But what you want to do is have a distance, like very short distance, and we're going to do just individual elements of the fetch. Yeah, I know you want it. All right. So I'm just going to toss it there. There we go. Let's try it again. Yes. Now, right there. Did he bring it back to me? No, he went over to it. So the first stage, you want to be about 2 or 3 feet away and just roll a ball or something. Try to make it a new toy. New sometimes makes it easier for dogs. They're more interested. So as soon as your dog just goes to it, if that's all they do, say yes, and then give them a treat. They don't even have to touch it or pick it up at first. Most dogs are probably going to touch it and pick it up. If that's the case, then you would wait until the dog, what it does as much as it can. So let's say you throw it, the dog goes over there and touches it with his nose. Say yes and give him a treat. Do that like for about a minute. You know, maybe you can use kibble for this if your dog really likes kibble. And so your dog's like, so I just go over and touch this thing, I get a treat? And I know that I'm doing the right thing because you say yes every time I touch it. So you do that maybe for about a minute, maybe 3 times, 4 times a day for 1 or 2, for maybe a day or 2. When your dog gets pretty good and you throw it, they go right after it, you can increase the distance and maybe throw it from 4 feet away, 10 feet away. And the dog goes over and gets it. The next stage is when you throw it, you want them to go over and yes, and pick it up. All they have to do is pick it up. They don't have to bring it to you at this stage. Just as soon as you pick it up, I say yes, and then I get a treat. And again, then you reset. And I was saying fetch, I believe. And you see right there, he's more interested in treats. Now, this is something I was telling the clients off camera. When the dog doesn't do what we want, and we don't use the marker word, and we don't reward them, that is half of how they learn. Because it didn't work. I'm not giving him a treat, I'm just distracting him so he doesn't bark. So if I throw it and he doesn't get it, and he doesn't get a mark or a reward, then it wasn't successful for him. He didn't get rewarded. But if I throw it and he goes and brings it halfway or goes towards it, and I say, oh, good boy, and give him a treat anyways, well, I can do whatever I want. I'm going to get the reward. So the first stage is getting him used to going to the object. Second stage is picking up the object. Third stage is picking up the object and bring it to you. And if we're doing it from only 2 or 3 feet away, when I go like this, well, that doesn't mean it's not. It looks more impressive when you do what I'm expecting you to do. So I didn't reward him. I didn't mark it. I did give him a little attention. There we go. So now he's interested in it. He's looking where the treats are. I'm just not going to move it, so I go and get it again. Now, we did this, we were throwing this down the hallway at first, and he wasn't doing it, and his guardians were like, I'm going to go get it, I'm going to go get it. But that's giving the dog attention. Remember, all attention is rewarding. There we go. Yes. So that's just to get him to drop it. Now, dangly things like this are going to make it more appealing, but I'm teasing him. So when you get to the point where they can go pick it up, you want to tease him a little bit, and you're going to need to say the cue as you throw it, like I do right now. Fetch. I have a treat. I'm not telling him what to do. Yes. Now, if he didn't go down and get it, which he didn't do a couple times when we were in front of him, we just walked over and got it ourselves. He didn't get a reward, and we're not mad about it. When we're training dogs, we often get frustrated when they don't do what we want, but this is kind of complex. There's a couple of steps. Now, he's a pointer, lab. Certain dogs are just going to pick up fetch pretty easily. You don't even really have to train them. Other dogs, you have to work at it a little bit. So if you throw it, and he doesn't go get it, then he doesn't get a reward. Now for him, because he's still learning this, I want to tease him. See that we're getting some arousal. You see he's like really wants it. Now you're re-chewing the treats. Fetch. Now he's not as aroused. So I'm going to go get it. But one of the other things, unless he gets it himself, and if he does, then I'm going to say his mark word and give it to him. Now, one of the other things, when you're doing this, if you're practicing, he's fetching, 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 and you do this, and he doesn't go get it, try to do an easy one, because you always want the last repetition to be a good, successful one. So he didn't do what I wanted, so no big deal. I'm going to walk over here and get it myself. He didn't get the reward. So now we'll tease him again. We're going to see if we can get one more so we can end this one. Oh, yes. I'm not hitting him, but I do. He's a rough and tumble dog, so I can tap him a little bit. There we go. Fetch! Yes. Well, this is my buddy Boone, and this is a short video on how you can teach a dog to fetch.